Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. We got so much to talk about. Obviously, we got the Wyatt Sicks and Final Testament on Monday Night Raw. They opened the show, which was quite the surprise. Thought they might end with them, but the image we ended with Rhea and Iyo both holding that women's championship obviously furthers that story, which obviously connects with Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event this weekend. Obviously, we saw some big changes to that card as well. We'll get to all that. We'll go through all of that. But let's start with the Wyatt Sicks folder. So, TJF, shout out to you. Joe Gacy posting this image of a car on a road. It reminded me a little bit of Nightbird, actually. We got something like this with a car on a road traveling somewhere. So I think this was just Joe Gacy on his way towards the arena. That's kind of how I interpreted that. But he did put this message out as well. My time goes by so slow. My clock goes by so slow. I didn't get a chance to look to see if they were lyrics to anything. All of this, though, of course, before Raw. So it was just kind of building up the excitement. That's kind of how I interpreted it. This as well. So Nikki Cross tagging actually on top of this like fan post. She said tonight names will be added in blood to the book of the sick. Didn't quite go that way, to be honest. We'll get to it. So, Final Testament made their way out. This was their entrance, along with the Miz, of course, being with them. Match, I thought, was pretty fun. Not loads to it, actually. Like, we started off with a Gunther Finn Balor promo. Damian getting involved, all of that, right? And by the time we got to the match and got through the match, I think only like 20 odd minutes had gone. Like, this actually felt like it was kept quite short. It was fun. I mean, I still thought there were some really, really interesting moments. Just talking about the entrances. This was the entrance, of course, for the Wyatt Sicks. So if we actually pause it and just like move forward a little bit, you can see the chair rocking on its own, right? I don't know that I've seen it do that before, but before the Wyatt Sicks even reached the chair, it was rocking on its own. As well as that, we got this moment here. Uncle Howdy talking like Bray is in the chair. So couldn't quite make out what it was that he was saying, but he was talking as if someone was kind of in the chair. It looked to me like he was talking more to the chair, because if Bray was sat in the chair, I think his head would be about here. He's kind of talking to his chest here, really. I feel like if Bray was sat in the chair, his head would be about here. I don't know if that was just a bit of a mistake or I don't know, but he was kind of more talking to the chair in my mind. But of course, I think it's meant to represent Bray. Of course, right? The words are the red, and that's who they follow. And we know that the red is Bray. So, of course, I think it was Bray. But that moment and the moment where the chair was rocking, they were two things that really jumped out to me at the very, very start. But this jumped out to Bailey. He said, did you notice that Erick kissed Harper's Bludgeon Brother mask? I didn't notice that, actually. So, kissed Harper's Bludgeon Brother mask, I think just before he got in the ring. Lynette said, did you notice that Karrion was mouthing fall and pray during his entrance? I've not seen him do that since his days in NXT. I wonder if that was just a little glimpse at the nerves that Karrion was, maybe he was trying to get himself in the zone for this match, right? Uncle Howdy talking to Bray, telling him this is all for you. That was mentioned. I think that was mentioned during the match as well. So I don't know if it was mentioned just before as they were heading to the ring, but I did see him saying it during the match as well, right? So if we go back down here, obviously we had the match. There was a few little moments in there, like a crossbody through the ropes by Gacy and a cannonball to the outside by Loomis. But this was really fun. So Scarlett tripping over Uncle Howdy. Of course, then from behind appeared Nikki. And I thought this was done really well. So I really enjoyed this moment. Of course, Uncle Howdy with the claw on The Miz, that's when we would get the return of Paul Elling. So it's this bit here, look, with the, I can only imagine that is flour, cocaine, I'm not sure, but it was right in the face of Uncle Howdy. I said during the stream, very reminiscent of Mr. Fuji from back in the day when he was with Yokozuna, and straight in the face. So Paul Elling, who we haven't seen since he was attacked, since he was clawed, returning and aiding and resulting in the Wyatt Sicks actually losing the match. So the pin, look at that, he got a bit of the Miz as well. So the pin by Karrion on Uncle Howdy meant that it is a victory for the Final Testament. Final Testament and Miz defeat Wyatt Sicks. So loads of people have said, is this a disaster? What's going on? All this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter, right? To me, it doesn't matter. I'm just thrilled we got to see an entrance. I'm thrilled we got a few little talking points. I'm thrilled we got a few little fun moments like the Nikki moment. I said during the watch-along, if you think about like World War II, there was loads of battles. Battle of the Bulge, Battle of Britain, D-Day. Like, you know, all these kind of little battles that have played on, right? Stalingrad, and but ultimately it doesn't really matter who won or lost those battles. It's more who won the war that matters. And you know, they've won a battle here, they've won a few battles, Final Testament, but I don't think they win the war. What people have said though is that, does this take away from the aura of the Wyatt Sicks? And to be honest, I think that what we're getting down to is, what do people want the Wyatt Sicks to be? I think they've gone out their way to present this as a group of people that are trying to carry on Bray's work, and they are beatable, right? They are not supernatural. They don't have supernatural powers. Uncle Howdy can't survive being blinded, right? And then being nailed by Karrion. He will be defeated. Like, he is beatable. A win for these guys is not a foregone conclusion, and I don't really have a massive problem with that. I understand that this might take a little bit away from their presence, from their aura. It doesn't make them look as badass. I do understand that. I really do understand that. But I think if they can bounce back from this with something, you know, cool. If they can, like, bounce back and say, you know, we understand now what we need to do. We understand there's a missing piece or something like this. Because people have pointed out that they are outnumbered now that Paul Elling is back. So are we going to get teases of a new member? I'm not saying they have to go down those roads, but if we do go down those roads, I think a lot of Wyatt Sicks fans will be absolutely fine with what just happened. If the result of this is we have to go and get another person to even up the numbers now that Paul Elling is back, I think you lot will be okay with this. This will be seen as a moment that needed to happen to get us to where we ended up going, right? So we had all of this, and Uncle Howdy took his first pinfall loss on TV after Paul Elling threw powder in his face. Howdy at some point had to lose, says No DQ. Did it need to be now? That's what people are debating. So, Trenton, shout out to you. Kenny, for your thoughts, said, way back when the group was a rumor, I was hoping that Bray would be the higher power, the sixth member that the Wyatt Sicks call upon. To actually see it in practice is so damn cool. I've included this because I think it's interesting that that's what Kenny, for your thoughts, has took away from this, that Bray is the sixth member, right? And that he's like a higher power. And I don't think that's what's happening. I don't think he's a sixth member, because I think he's actually bigger than being a member. Like, he is the all-seeing, all-powerful. He is over all of them, right? He doesn't need to just be a member. He's above all of that in my mind, right? So for me, like, I think that the sixth member is still going to be Alexa, not at first. I think she may need convincing. How that fits into this current story, I'm really not sure, because, you know, I wasn't expecting Paul Elling to be back, so that really caught me off guard. So how this plays out, how we move forwards, not 100%, but I'm confident and I have belief that the Wyatt Six will win this war, even if they are losing battles. But I don't actually think this is right. I don't think he is the 6th member. He's definitely part of the group, but I don't know that he's the 6th member, right? This is a big one. Big thank you to Howdy LFC. Tagged me this over an hour ago. So Isaac said this was during CM Punk's signing. You can actually see Karrion and Bo in the background rehearsing their spot on the monitor, which is a bit of a botch, isn't it, for us to be able to see that? It's not a big problem, but you can see the empty seats. You can see Bo in there. So that is them kind of going through their spots, going through their rehearsals. So a little bit, maybe, I don't know, a bit of an Easter egg for the fans, but I don't know. It probably shouldn't be seen, should it really, them going through their rehearsals? There's probably something that we should keep protected. But yeah, that doing the rounds. Here, look, Scorch Bliss said, since the Wyatt Six are outnumbered now, they're definitely going to tease the return of Alexa soon. And we know that she's ready. We know that we've just been waiting for creative. She's been long rumoured since SummerSlam. So, yeah, I think this is a road now where we're going to tease the return of Alexa. Word of Wrestling said it's time for the Black Sheep. So Word of Wrestling thinks maybe not Alexa. Maybe we actually now go and get Braun. Which, I mean, maybe. I think is that an overreaction to the return of Paul Ellering? I don't know. If they need Braun, they can get Braun. Maybe that is the direction we go. Howdy doesn't have to wrestle, of course. It could be that it's Howdy that stays on the outside as Braun, Rowan, Gacy, Loomis. They're the ones that wrestle. On the outside to deal with Scarlett is Nikki. To deal with Ellering is Howdy. And maybe that is how we even up the score. And we know that Braun is in the system. It's not like we have to have like this massive return for Braun. So that's an interesting thought. Very interesting thought. Paul Ellering tweeted 9 hours ago. He said, friends, Hebrew 11:1. Now faith is coincidence in what we hope for. Right? So again, more cryptic stuff from Paul Ellering. This is the kind of thing that he has put out, which I've not really been paying much attention to. But obviously, the fact he's back now means that we probably do need to pay a bit closer attention to what Paul Ellering is saying. I like this from James. We've spoke about this quite a bit. So this, of course, was the URL that had the first letters. So Uncle Howdy, Erick Rowan, Dexter Loomis, Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy. Those are the first 5. And then we expect the 1A, which we think is Alexa. There was another URL which seemed to have the last letters. So Y for Howdy, S for Loomis, N for Rowan, S for Cross, Y for Gacy. And so the one that's missing is S, 1S, 1A, 1S. This is why the belief is the 6th person is going to be Alexa Bliss, right? So, again, I don't know that we've actually sat down and actually shown it, but there we go. So, James, shout out to you. And yes, this was on Raw Talk. I did just wait a moment before putting this video out. I wanted to see if we were going to get the Wyatts or if we were going to get Final Testament. We got Final Testament. They were in great spirits. Miz came along and he was like, it worked. I'm so happy. Like, we did it. I'll just be on my way now. And Karrion grabbed him, made it very, very clear, you're going nowhere, right? Final Testament is not letting Miz go anywhere. And Miz was like, TikTok. He was a broken man. I think he thought he was going to be able to escape and get out of this now. I don't think he wants to be. He certainly does not want to be a part of this. But they are not letting him go. They might know that this war has not ended yet, you know? I think Miz just wants out, right? But yeah, that's the Wyatt stuff, and I think we've covered it pretty in depth. Right, yeah, at the start of Raw, as we said, we had Gunther, we had Finn. Finn was saying to Gunther, you gave someone a title opportunity that didn't deserve it, and even named him Dirty Dom. This was the look that Dirty Dom gave him. The tension and issues between Finn and Dirty Dom are there for the whole world to see. So this, right at the start of the show, felt like a very interesting moment. Drew McIntyre was on the show as well. He was reacting to OG Bloodline reuniting with Roman. He said at least CM Punk took a bribe. They all sold out for absolutely nothing. That's when I knew I was going to take out Sammy. That's when I knew I was going to take out Jey. He admitted he is the one that took out Jey Uso. So we found out that answer tonight. It was Drew that took out Jey Uso. There was also another bit in his promo where he said, I started to think maybe people can change, but then I turned the TV on and I watched Survivor Series, and standing next to Roman Reigns is CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and they showed the footage of them all standing there throwing the wands up, and it was really impactful because Drew's making an excellent point. I told you they hadn't changed. They've gone right back to him. I mean, obviously we're hoping Roman has changed now, right? We're hoping all of them are faces now. But Drew is just not having any of this, right? Not having any of this. You can see where he's coming from. It does make it very interesting. So back to that opening part of Raw. Gunther said, I looked up to you, but with time, that respect faded away. It faded away because you started taking shortcuts, because you aligned yourself with the Judgment Day. You chose to hang out with a bunch of weirdos in a clubhouse. So that was Gunther to Finn Balor. Backstage, I missed this at the time, but you lot were talking about it. That is Tiffany, apparently. Yeah, you can see the briefcase talking to Adam Pearce. This is interesting. We know that transfer window is opening up soon. So very interesting. Seth making his way to the ring, of course. That's how our opening segment would end. Finn Balor holding up both the tag title and the world championship that he hopes to get his hands on this weekend. Of course, Damian would come down, make his presence felt. Big brawl involving Judgment Day, Damian, Gunther. As a result, the match was changed this weekend. It's going to be Finn against Damian against Gunther. That title match now a triple threat. Sam Roberts made a really good point on Raw Talk. He said, does Adam Pearce realize that he just screwed Gunther? Because this isn't really Gunther's fault. This is Damian and Finn getting in each other's way. And all of a sudden now, this match is now a triple threat. Gunther could lose his title, and it's not really Gunther's fault. So, I don't know. I don't know how Gunther's going to react. We haven't seen his reaction to the news. But I could understand it if he was annoyed, you know, because this isn't really his fault. Right, obviously the New Day. Wow, this was awesome. That segment when they came out was awesome. Cody Rhodes was backstage. He was talking to Adam Pearce, so it looks like Cody could be switching brands. That was teased the other day on SmackDown when Gunther went to speak to Nick Aldis. So Gunther, Cody look like they're switching in this transfer window. He said you two should be ashamed. New Day really don't seem to realise that they've really botched this. They don't seem to realise how much they've dropped the ball. They did after that segment when they came out to the crowds. Yeah, this was a botch at the start of the show. So they actually was talking and showing off Seth Rollins and talking about stuff. I don't know if this was around the world. Some people in our chat were saying that it was absolutely fine for them. But here in the UK, we just got this graphic. So on commentary, they're like, here's Seth arriving. We never saw that. We literally just stayed on this like still image. It put Seth Rollins' name at the bottom, but we never saw him. And like there was quite a few times at the start of the show where the image was just freezing. We couldn't seem to get past it. But I've had people telling me, no, it was fine for us. So, I don't know, very strange botch. Production botch, which is very weird. Don't get that often. I love how the graphics on the side are showing Seth's accolades. Yeah, that's new. Haven't seen this before. When Seth came down to the ring, showed all the things that he's achieved. Looks classy as well. So I agree. Julian there pointing that out, thought it looked really good. So this is when Adam went backstage and he told Finn that there's going to be a championship match change. So it is now Gunther versus Finn versus Damian. Saturday night's main event. We will be live for that this weekend. Also, he announced that next week on Raw, they're going to have to defend their tag titles against the War Raiders. So I don't know if that was confirmed on Raw. It was certainly confirmed on Raw Talk. We saw the graphic and everything, so we know that's happening. I do remember him mentioning it at this point. Seth. So Seth said CM Punk ghosted him after he left WWE. So he did. He came out and he was like, as soon as Punk left, I got in touch with him, but never heard back. In fact, none of us did. And then CM Punk spent the next 10 years trashing this place. And it was interesting. It was a really interesting promo. I mean, I don't know if people who are just new to wrestling, if that's going to change their opinion, maybe, of CM Punk. I'm not sure. I don't think it will, but I'm not sure. It's a brave move to actually go down that road of pointing out that Punk has been on the outside for a long time and he has not been kind about WWE. Obviously, Punk can respond by saying, look, the way that I exited, I was bitter, I was angry, I carried that for a long time, I'm over that now, I'm not that person now. He can easily explain it, but I still thought it was quite interesting to present it as part of this story. I thought this was a really interesting promo. Final Testament and Miz defeating Wyatt Sicks. We put that in a separate folder. Right, I did the one thing that CM Punk couldn't. That's main event WrestleMania. Wow, he went there. He went there. So, yeah, really interesting words. I'm sure they're going to get CM Punk fired up. Right, we're not going to have time to watch these videos. I will retweet them, right? This is Bayley saying that she's come to talk to Adam Pearce about switching to Raw, and she's here to watch, the roster, watch the show. They've started to put these interviews out on social media, so we actually watched the start of this during our watch-along, and yeah, she is looking to switch brands, so add Bayley to the list of people that could be making their way over to the red brand. You sound less like Seth and more like Drew, said Sammy. Sammy came out to address Seth Rollins, and, it was getting a little bit fiery in there. Basically, they were kind of having a disagreement. Obviously, Seth was disappointed that Sammy thought it was him that had attacked Jey. Obviously, we found out earlier it was Drew. Sammy did apologize for that. But Seth was like, I was the first name you thought of. That really hurt me. That was really disappointing. These stories are so interesting. There's so much to get your teeth into. Okay, here's CM Punk. He did a little backstage interview during the show. He wants to be on everybody's top 10 list of greatest of all time. But I remember a time when he was on the top 10 list of people to be fired. I shielded him from that. He says as well that it was ages ago. Like a 16-year-old Seth came to him wanting to learn how to be a wrestler. And he says, I've known him all that time. It was, again, a really interesting promo. I think the promos on this week's Raw were really captivating. And they're really furthering the story. So that was the side of the show I really enjoyed this week. And then, of course, Sammy, he managed to get the ring to himself. Seth walked off and he announced that he wants to face Drew at Saturday night's main event, and we are getting that match. So that's the final match that's been added. Sammy against Drew, Saturday night's main event. Yeah, look at it. Sonya, I will leave my husband for you. We got Liv against Dakota. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed Liv Dakota. I thought it was a really good match. But in the crowd, this woman saying, Sonya, I'll leave my husband for you. The Boulder said the lady in the front row is determined. Of course, as well as that, we had the triple threat. So Lyra against Zelina against Ivy, and it was Lyra that emerged victorious. So that, I think, will have disappointed quite a few in our community. I think Lyra is definitely being pushed. She got to the final of Queen of the Ring. She was probably favourite to come through that, but I did think Zelina had a chance. But definitely there'll be quite a few disappointed people in our community that were rooting for Zelina. Liv Morgan got the win over Dakota. Dakota got a lot of offense in, and it was a really good match. So the 4 matches we had: Wyatt against Final Testament win. Liv against Dakota, Liv wins. Lyra, Zelina, Ivy, Lyra wins. Rhea against Raquel that closed the show. Didn't get loads of time. Anything goes. Really fun. And it was Rhea that picked up the victory. Right, we've got Pete Dunne, and I haven't actually seen this, but the fact that they're interviewing him between the commercials or in the commercial break, again, very interesting. We need to watch this one, though, because I haven't actually seen this one, so I don't know what he says.
But for now, please join me in welcoming my guest at this time, Pete Dunne. I imagine that you saw my interview earlier with R-Truth.
I think they chanting Butch.
I am so sick of R-Truth. He's an idiot. There's a violent man on this roster, and that idiot somehow beat me. Hilarious. That's so funny. But because of you, your boy R-Truth is about to get the beating of a lifetime. Butch is dead. Long live Pete Dunne.
So there we go. It looks like not only are we interviewing people that are switching brands, but we're also giving interview time, promo time to people that we can't just quite fit onto the show. So Pete Dunne, I think, would have had a little backstage interview if this was a 3-hour Raw. It's a 2-hour Raw. So we're using maybe the commercial break time to have Jackie Redmond go and do these kinds of interviews. Really interesting. Really interesting. So there we go. As well as that, we had the New Day. As we said, they were brilliant. They said to Kathy that she's obviously not going to be able to be unbiased. You might be John Cena's little friend, but give me the camera. They spoke to Stu, took the camera off Stu. It was Xavier that was filming as they were coming down to the ring. Crowds went mental. New Day sucks. Big E chants. Oh my God, it was so much fun. It was so good. They couldn't even get a word out. They ended up having to just leave the flipping ring. You can see this necklace that we've spoke about before that apparently connects to this here. This apparently is the symbol that can turn you evil, and that is the symbol that Kofi Kingston is wearing around his neck. So that from Luigi Wrestling. Chanman said, wow, the crowd are chanting New Day sucks, and it's surreal. New Day can't talk. They're getting booed out the building. The heat is real. Big Bronson Reed said there's so many people on Raw that need a good slap in the face. And this is them leaving the ring. Justice for Big E sign. Metal Mama said the crowd booed Kofi and Xavier out the ring. That's a great sign in the crowd as well. New Day heel run could be special, says Fightful. Zelina Vega apologized for losing her match earlier. That's how the show ended. Rhea and Iyo both holding that championship. And we got to hear from R-Truth. Again, this was one of those that was done during the commercial break.
If you ask me so...
Here he is.
What's up? Saturday night main event is back. I'm excited about that. Just like I'm excited about my victory last week over Butch. Oh, my bad. I meant Pete Dunne. They told me I couldn't say stuff like, Butch, please. or they said I couldn't say, ain't that a Butch? Or I couldn't say, life's a Butch. You know what I'm saying? Like, move, Butch, get out the way. Move, Butch. Get out the way. Move, Butch. You know what? Hey, they said that I couldn't say it, but they didn't say the good people of Wichita, Kansas.
Look at him.
Y'all have a good night.
There we go. There we go. R-Truth just coming in and causing all kinds of carnage. Love to see it. Right, in the community folder, Raymond, shout out to you, said he has been reposted by Kathy Kelly. Very good. Miss Rattlehead said, today the Fiend is in trouble. I always knew those Disney princesses were evil. So there we go. There we go. Certainly that Rachel Ziegler one. Rachel Ziegler, she seems evil, right? I don't know why, it's just the internet hates her, so I'm joining in. And Little Fuego said, John Cena followed me. The child me is going crazy right now. Raymond got a like from Lillian. And Junk Wax Obsessed actually got another card. This time, look, a relic. So a bit of t-shirts from Nikki Cross. Very good. Emmanuel said, check it out. My first superstar follow. Thank you. That's so kind, Emmanuel. Thank you. But R-Truth follows you as well, so that's big news. So amazing. And Uncle Jimmy said, I got these in the mail today. Look at how he signs the S as a 5. Maybe he is the 5th member. So Loomis, he might have been doing that for a long time. That just might be how he does his S's, to be honest. I don't know. It'd be interesting to find his signature before he joined the Wyatt Sicks. But either way, it still looks great on these cards, doesn't it? So there we go. A couple of Loomis cards. Excellent. Right, let's go fun. What we got in Metal Mama. So that's what Seth was wearing. This is what it was reminding her of. Very good. Stu Bennett said, yo, attorneys of Twitter hit me up about a major libel case. Because this person here says Wade stole my lunch money. And it was a sign of the night as well. So Stu wants attorneys of Twitter to hit him up. Fun fact, just like Bianca, Candice makes her own gear. So check this out. I didn't know that. I didn't know that she made her own gear. I knew that she had that gear made for her at War Games. I didn't realize she had made it. So this is her like doing her gear in Fast Forward. So yeah, really cool. I think that might have come from their vlog actually. So Shakeem, thank you. Yeah, look at these new Bleacher buddies. Ringside Collectibles. We've got them. You might remember these from back in the day. Wrestling buddies. Well, they're Bleacher buddies now. Now you can wrestle in the comfort of your own home with Rhea Ripley. Hey? Who's going to turn that down? So here we go. Mommy, you can wrestle with Mommy at home. With these Bleacher creatures. There is another one as well, actually, which is down here from Ringside. I think it was Miss Clown that tagged me. Look at this. Look at this. So you can get one of Kane. That looks so good. That looks so good. So I think they look awesome. Jang Tae Sang, shout out to you. R-Truth said, I've been a fan for years. Happy birthday, Kurt Angle. And he's put a picture of Chad Gable. This is bonkers, right? Sweet Chin Wrestling, shout out to you. Check this out. This is from the Alpha Academy.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Alpha Academy.
The Alpha Academy. Everybody wants to join, but they can't.
They can't. They can't.
Until now.
How about you take a swim in the sea knowledge?
Sign up and get an all-beef dinner with OTs.
Oh, yeah. And we got a big old 14-pound brisket to smoke all day long. Sirloin. Ribeye. Big old tomahawk. Lamb. Shank.
You'll also get exclusive dance lessons with the Tozawa.
And also, I forgot to mention, unlimited selfies with the one and only Maxine Dupree.
I never agreed to that. What are you waiting for?
You can bet if you run out of beef, do wings instead, baby.
It's the Alpha Academy.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Join the Alpha. Apparently, you can go and you can join the Alpha Academy. Metal Mama said, join the Alpha Academy, become a junior cadet. Do you have what it takes? So apparently you can actually go there to this website and you can join, and it's got like this very Barbie color scheme. Otis, if you're looking for a big old slab of pure manliness, you've hit the jackpot. Otis isn't just the pretty face of the group. He's like a tree trunk with dance moves that would make the great JoJo Siwa wide-eyed with envy. A loyal friend, legs like Schweinschacks the Hamhocks, and a heart of gold. I totally said that wrong. I've never experienced that word in my life. What more could you ask for? Then we've got Maxine. If Michelangelo ever got to gaze upon Maxine Dupree, he would have covered up the Sistine Chapel like your grandparents covered those beautiful hardwood floors with linoleum in the 1970s. I don't know who this is for, some boomers. Maxine is the heart and soul of Alpha Academy, as well as the proud graduate of the program. I guess you could call her the early birds because she has truly perfected the worm. Get it? Sadly, I do. Akira Tozawa says, or Akira Tozawa is, versatile like none other. 1 minute he's pinning an opponent, next he's hitting the griddy. He might not be the biggest, but neither was that Australian Olympic breakdancer. Follow your dreams, kids. It's what Tozawa would want. Chad Gable! Loser! He who must not be named is a big smushed-eared loser. He decided to go start a new group with other losers who have just as smushed-up ears as Chad's. If birds of a feather flock together, then it seems bullies with jacked-up ears do as well. He has a bad personality and potentially a dead tooth because his breath is always atrocious. If you want to know more about him, go stick your head in a dumpster, take a big old whiff, because that's exactly what it's like to meet Chump Gargle. So there we go. That looks pretty fun. Reminds me a lot of Maximum Male Models. I don't think it'll be for everybody, but yeah, I definitely get Maximum Male Model vibes from that. But let's see how it plays out. At least they're doing something with them. Another clip I've not seen. Chelsea Green said the WWE Universe loves Chelsea Green. Who am I to disagree?
All right, we're about to do a recon mission. We're going to go out there with the fans. It's Chelsea. It's me. Let's go.
It's like the worst disguise. How would you ever look at this and not see Chelsea Green?
I wish I was as pretty, talented, and funny as Chelsea Green.
Agreed.
Agreed.
He definitely loves Chelsea.
If Chelsea Green is not in the first Women's United States Champion, we riot.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's absolutely true.
That's what I thought. Good day.
Thank you. Guys. Life is short, and so is Michael Cole.
You love Chelsea, right?
Yes, that's my thought. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's all I needed to know.
Nothing in life is certain except for death, taxes, and Chelsea Green. That was Chelsea Green.
That was Chelsea Green.
That's awesome.
Chelsea Green is way prettier than Michael Cole. You get it?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
True or false?
She's Chelsea. I know. She's Chelsea.
Oh my god, I so wanted him to say no.
Everyone loves me, obviously. Do you love Chelsea Green? What? Cut that. We're going to cut that one. We don't need that one.
That was good. That was good.
All right,
I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen it. So there was some good stuff in there. I kept finding myself, though, when she was asking, like, who's prettier, Chelsea or Michael Cole? I don't know why I so wanted that man to say Michael Cole. He seemed to be thinking about it, to be honest. She ended up having to run away because he didn't answer. So, OTC, shout out to you. I meant to tag this yesterday. It doesn't mean anything to me, but the Steelers and the orange helmets, they must have had a game. I'm guessing the Steelers won. This meme was used. I think the orange helmets were really sad about it, but, you know, whatever. I really like this, didn't I? I've included it like 3 times. So, XFX, shout out to you.
Nice. Here, one more catch here. Nice. Here, one look at you.
I don't get it, but that's Bailey with a Christmas tree. How do I not include it? I don't know. Do with that whatever you need to do with that, because I don't really understand it, but I couldn't not include it. That's all I know. Okay, more on the Rey Fenix drama. So he's come out today and said, I needed a doctor. You ignored me for months. Don't know if that's the issue that is the big reveal, right? I really don't know. We really touched on it a lot during our live stream. Obviously, everyone's going to be talking about this, and it's going to keep rumbling along, but is that it? I don't know. Thomas, shout out to you. Raquel pens a heartbreaking health update ahead of Raw. So she basically said, like, I was too weak, I was too vulnerable, I was too soft. Like, I think that's why I went through what I went through. I think she said she'd never actually been diagnosed with what it was that she had. And so she's come to the conclusion that she was, like, you know, too anxious, too wore out. And that's why she went through what she went through. I don't know that that is true. I'm thinking she probably did have that mast cell activation syndrome. But that's certainly what she said. She's like, take a look at this soft, broken woman. And there was pictures and footage of her when she was, you know, going through what she's just been through. You'll not see her again, right? So that's what she posted. She's been through a living hell. Charlie, shout out to you. So Charlotte Flair just training for her return, training with Shawn Spears, Tyler Breeze. That's Xia Li, who I think goes by a different name now, Kiana James as well, which is quite interesting. So, Charlie, thank you. Sable, former WWE talent Sable, spotted in a recent, this one over here. So there we go, Sable out and about, a recent picture. So this must be a recent picture of Brock as well. So, Charlie, thank you. So I'm sure you'll agree, a lot covered in this episode. I really appreciate all the retweets, all the support. So let's get to the thanks folder. Raymond, thank you. Lynette, thank you. Word of Wrestling, thank you. Vamia the Boss, shout out to you. Miss Clown, thank you, my friend. Word of Wrestling, thank you. Craig, appreciate it. Sweet Chin Wrestling, thank you. Kelly the Wise Lady, thank you. Metal Mama, appreciate it. Dave, tagging me in this. Bailey, making love with a Christmas tree. OTC, thank you. Jang Tae Sang, thank you. Charlie again, thank you. Lee, appreciate it, my friends. Emmanuel, shout out to you. Shout out to everyone that has shown this video series the love and support that they have. It's so appreciated. So much stuff in this video for us to get through. I'm really pleased we've managed to get it in well under an hour. I really feared this was going to take like an hour to record, so I'm really pleased we've managed to get it done much shorter than that. But thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. We're back tomorrow for our NXT watch along. I will hopefully see you then. Bye for now.